Have you ever noticed that the people who change the world often seem a little different, a little unusual, a little obsessed, a little crazy? More than 2,000 years ago, the Greek philosopher Aristotle made a fascinating observation. He said, "No great mind has ever existed without a touch of madness." At first, this quote sounds strange. Was Aristotle saying that great thinkers are mentally ill? Not exactly. What he meant is that extraordinary people often think in ways that seem irrational, unusual, or even ridiculous to everyone else. Think about it. When someone believes in an idea that nobody else understands, they are often called crazy. When they spend years chasing a dream with no guarantee of success, people question their sanity. When they refuse to follow the crowd, they are seen as different. But history shows us something interesting. Many of the world's greatest minds were once considered strange. Scientists, artists, inventors, writers, and entrepreneurs often possessed an intense passion that set them apart from others. They saw possibilities where others saw limitations. They asked questions that nobody else dared to ask. And sometimes, their ideas sounded completely absurd at first. Imagine telling people centuries ago that humans would fly through the sky in giant metal machines, or that tiny devices in our pockets would allow us to communicate instantly with people across the world. Many revolutionary ideas begin as impossible dreams, and those who believe in them often appear irrational until they succeed. This is the touch of madness Aristotle was talking about. Not madness in a harmful sense, but the courage to think differently, the willingness to imagine what does not yet exist, the determination to continue whenever. Great minds are often driven by curiosity that borders on obsession. They spend countless hours studying, creating, experimenting, and improving. To outsiders, this level of dedication can seem excessive. Why spend years working on one idea? Why sacrifice comfort for a dream? Why keep going after repeated failures? Yet without this unusual persistence, many great achievements would never happen. The same trait that makes someone appear strange can also make them exceptional. But there is another side to this quote. A touch of madness is not enough by itself. Passion without discipline can lead nowhere. Creativity without action remains only imagination. Vision without effort is just a dream. The people who achieve greatness usually combine unconventional thinking with hard work. They dream boldly, but they also act consistently. They challenge the rules, but they master their craft. They think differently, yet remain committed to learning and improving. Perhaps Aristotle's quote reminds us not to fear being different. Many people hide their ideas because they worry about being judged. They avoid taking risks because they fear looking foolish. But every innovation, every masterpiece, and every breakthrough began with someone who was willing to think beyond what seemed reasonable. The world often rewards conformity, but progress depends on those who dare to be unconventional. So if you've ever felt different, if you've ever had a dream others didn't understand, if you've ever been told that your ideas are unrealistic, remember Aristotle's words. No great mind has ever existed without a touch of madness. Sometimes the very thing that makes you seem unusual today may become the reason people admire you tomorrow. Because greatness rarely comes from thinking exactly like everyone else. It comes from having the courage to imagine something more. So perhaps the goal isn't to avoid being called crazy. The goal is to be passionate enough, brave enough, and persistent enough to turn that madness into something extraordinary.